If you're traveling to Iceland for any reason, then visiting the Blue Lagoon ought to be on your bucket list. It's simply unheard of to visit Iceland without stopping to take a dip in this steamy geothermal pool. The Blue Lagoon is located about an hour from the country's capital of Reykjavik in Grindavik, but is only 15 minutes from the airport. This natural, outdoor spa is always open all year round for relaxation, and its healing properties draw people to the waters in their droves. The lagoon also gives a picture-perfect scenery that you definitely enjoy. So, sit back, relax, as we take you through a virtual tour of this amazing site, known as the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a hot spring, or a geothermal pool, as it is also called. It is not a natural spring, mind you. It is man-made. However, it still contains many highly beneficial naturally occurring elements that have many benefits for your body. Swimming in these waters is super rejuvenating and very relaxing, as the pool maintains a steady temperature of 39 degrees Celsius, or 102 degrees Fahrenheit all year round. It's almost like taking a dip in your bathtub. The Blue Lagoon is a fairly recent development. It was developed in the late 70s, when the Svartsengi power plant happened to make a serendipitous mistake. They were drilling for geothermal energy in a neighboring lot, when suddenly excess steam and water began to gush out from the wrong place. And that was it, the Blue Lagoon became a thing. Since its accidental founding, the Blue Lagoon hasn't caused any harm to the power plant, nor have chemicals seeped into the lagoon from the plant. It has thus far been a purely accidental and harmless coexistence between the two sites. The question as to why the Blue Lagoon is blue has been an enduring one. But the answer is pretty simple and straightforward. It is high in silica, which makes the waters blue and forms a soft white mud on the lake's bottom. Bathers in the Blue Lagoon typically rub the silica on their bodies, as the silica in the waters has been proven to be quite good for the skin. Besides silica, the lagoon is rich in other helpful salts and algae. Although the Blue Lagoon was developed in the late 70s, it wasn't until a few years later in 1981 that people started to bathe in the pool. Not everyone was sure about the idea initially. The first person who ventured to swim in the lagoon was Valur Margeirsson. Margeirsson suffered from psoriasis at the time, and sought the plant's chairman's permission to get a dip in the pool to see how it might be of help to him. He soon realized that the water itself, and the algae in the water, really helped his skin and gave him the healing he sought. Margeirsson was the one who gave this lagoon its name, Blue Lagoon, and since then, the name stuck. The first public spa would be opened 6 years later, in 1987, and was initially used almost entirely by people with skin problems. However, these days, it's used by tourists of all kinds seeking to unwind, refresh, and just really have a great time. By the way, Iceland has a great bathing culture. So, Blue Lagoon isn't the only public pool you'd find. There are many swimming pools, as well as plenty of natural hot springs. So, when the Blue Lagoon was finally opened as a public spa, it wasn't long before all kinds of people, not just those with skin problems, started to flock to the new site. Its easy access to Reykjavik, the country's capital, also makes this pool a favorite among Icelandic natives. The properties at the Blue Lagoon afford visitors a wide range of entertainment opportunities, from fine dining to pretty impressive sleeping accommodations. But, of course, the hot spring takes the crown as the best amenity in the premises by far. Its mineral-rich waters primarily contain two main minerals, sulfur and silica, which not only combine to give the waters its color, but also give the waters its healing properties. The Blue Lagoon also contains certain algae plants that you can't find anywhere else in the world. Mixing the minerals and algae together, you get the perfect, all-natural skincare recipe. As we've already seen, the minerals and algae are great for treating psoriasis, which is the most common treatment people come to the Blue Lagoon for. Usually, a regular psoriasis treatment would require you to expose yourself to excessive UV rays which, while effective in the treatment, are not exactly safe for you. This is why most people prefer to get their psoriasis treatment from the Blue Lagoon, as it is both safer and more relaxing as well. That said, when is the best time to visit the Blue Lagoon? The Blue Lagoon is open all year round, and remains at the same temperature all through the year. But the best time of year to visit the Blue Lagoon would probably be during the winter. This is when the northern lights become visible in all its beauty, and the lagoon becomes even more magical. Simply floating in this hot spring would give you a fantastic vantage point to view the beautiful lights. You can visit the spring from morning until the time the spa closes in the evening. Mornings are generally an okay time to visit. Although there are always many people at the pool at that time, they are still fewer compared to the number of people who visit the spring in the evening. So, if you wouldn't want to be around that many people, then maybe go in the morning. And you can even hang out there all day, till the spa closes. But it might be better to go in the evening, though. After a long day outdoors, doing touristy things, and other activities, kicking back in the pool would be a nice way to call it a day, which makes evenings an ideal time to visit the Blue Lagoon. You'll get to rest and relax, and then you can head back to your hotel and sleep well. But also bear in mind that you'd have to share the pool with a good number of people. Since we're here, you might want to remember that the Blue Lagoon is always solidly booked and can get really busy during the day. But don't let that scare you. For the safety and comfort of all its guests, the personnel at the Blue Lagoon make sure to respect the maximum capacity of the lagoon. So, you won't have to bother about having to be squished with other people in the lagoon. As for bringing kids into the Blue Lagoon, it is completely doable, but there are a couple of rules set in place for the safety of the kids and the contentment of the guests. Children under the age of 2 are not allowed into the pool because the mineral content is just too high for them to tolerate. Kids between 3 and 8, though, are allowed into the pool, but they must use a flotation device before they can be allowed to swim. These devices are available for free at the lagoon. As for kids 13 years and younger, they get to swim for free in the Blue Lagoon, as long as they are coming along with a paying adult. But, please, do keep in mind that kids must always be under the supervision of an adult, and it cannot be more than 2 kids to 1 adult at the same time. This is primarily because the water gets a little deep at certain points, as deep as 5 feet, and kids need adult supervision at such depths. The Blue Lagoon renews itself every 48 hours, which means that each time you come to soak in the pool, you're soaking in a clean, warm pool. But you have to shower naked before you enter the pool. If you're not comfortable with getting undressed in front of other people, don't worry. There is enough privacy for you at the Blue Lagoon. There are changing rooms with stalls and lockers. Just make sure you have all you need, like your towel, before you enter the shower area. When you get into the Blue Lagoon, there are a host of things you can do, from getting a massage to enjoying a sauna. You can also get under the powerful waterfall to get a soothing, completely natural massage. Or you can try out the local food, take pictures, and definitely try out the masks too. There are different kinds of masks you can try out at the Blue Lagoon. There is the Silica Mud Mask, which is the most popular of the 4 masks, and helps to strengthen, exfoliate, and cleanse the skin. It is the main product at the Blue Lagoon and is typically handed out for free to bathers. You also have the Lava Scrub Mask, which consists of real lava grains that do a fantastic job of exfoliating your skin. If you need a real deep cleanse, then go for the Lava Scrub Mask, although it might not be great for people with sensitive skin. The Algae Mask is another type of mask found at the Blue Lagoon. This one is made from the blue-green algae at the lagoon, and is a great anti-aging remedy. It's best for people with dry skin, and does not work for those who suffer from acne or have oily skin. Finally, there's the Mineral Mask. The Mineral Mask is made from the unique minerals found in the Blue Lagoon. It deeply hydrates the skin and renews its vitality. Apply it on your skin, and you're sure to feel refreshed and relaxed shortly after. There you have it. Everything to know about the Blue Lagoon, and everything you can do with this surreal sight. So, pack your bags and get moving. Don't forget to take loads of photos, and come back and share your experience here with us in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you love content like this, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.